Excuse me.
You're quite excused.
Excuse me. We are talking about what such monies are used for. You simply to take this thing sequentially. You have gotten money. You've gotten from your statutory federal allocations that come to you. You have local government allocations. You have internally generated revenue. And we are saying, can you show us what you have done with these funds? That's the most critical thing. If you had done well with all the funds you have received, you will be morally obliged. You have the moral grounds to ask for such loans. And in any way, they are not denying that they've taken loans. The one you're talking about, just a specific loan, specific one that Alex Otti objected to. It doesn't mean that they have not taken other loans. So we are now asking, the ones you have taken, what have you done with it? Mr. Bada, you are aware that Absolute and Absolute were accredited. Is that the type of thing we should be hearing first time in our history? Meanwhile, the governor in question, the governor in charge, has taken the highest amount of loan ever in our history. Go to the record, go and look at the statistics, go and look at other finances. You will hear what the governor has spent in running his office. For in 2022 alone, we are reading what is there. We are reading 7.6 billion. It's an embarrassment. Now we are telling you that the 14.150 billion bailout fund, they did not account for what they did with it. We are telling you that about 21 billion or thereabout of the Paris Club Fund. Remember what the Paris Club Fund is all about, in case some people do not know. These were part of the repayments we made for the loans taken by late Dr. Sam Mbakwe. So during the time of Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as Minister for Finance, he negotiated for the writing off of our debts after some repayments had been done. So, and it was discovered that some states were over-deducted. So those were the monies returned, and they are in the taking place in Ogun. Can you compare what is on ground in Abia with it? Can you in any way compare it? So that is what we are saying. And also he has made it clear, I am not opposed to borrowing, but you must tell us what you want to do with this money. The man in Anambra State, very distinguished Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, has gone for a loan of $100 million. Sorry, 100 billion naira. They will give him because they know his pedigree, they know his capacity. They have seen the programs he outlined, and they will monitor to know what he's going to use those funds for. These are people who know the value of money. When Peter Obi was in charge and he was living as governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi handed $50 million and 12 billion naira of Anambra money to Alex Otti when Alex Otti was the CEO of Diamond Bank for safety fund Anambra. Go and check the value of that money today. Those are people who embrace prudence in governance, and because of that, they were able to achieve a lot. So all the things you hear people to be achieved is as a result of frugality in the management of the resources of the state, and that is what we are asking. We are not asking for much. Can you tell us why Abia State College of Education and Technical Arachuku is grounded? Can you tell us why the people are being owed almost 40 months salary arrears there? Can you tell us why School of Health is in shambles? Can you tell us why there is chaos in Abia Poly? Can you tell us why Absolute suffer such terrible fate in our history?
So are you saying if your principal becomes the governor of Abia State, he's going to be very frugal in his approach to public funds?
He has a record of excellence. He has a pedigree. He has pedigree. He has antecedents. He's an accomplished professional. He knows that public funds should be properly utilized. Like he said, the government has business in business. Now, should we ignore this saying that government doesn't have business in business? The government has business in business because government has to lead the way for the private sector to follow. So Alex Otti has what it takes. If you can't give what you don't have, he was prepared for it. He came without anybody imposing him, and his consistency since 2014 to today would convince you that been issue. This man was prepared for it, and that is why he remains here. Okay. And he didn't shy away from saying challenging those problems because he was not sworn in as governor in 2015. No, he He has remained here. He has continued to lend his voice. He's not the type that comes out during elections. He has been consistent, and no person in Abia can disprove this.
Okay.
So that's what we are saying.
Ferdinand.
There's no comparison between Okesi Ikpeazu and Alex Otti. So there is even no need of saying.
Really?
No,
Did you have to do that to a sitting governor? Anyway.
I was telling you there's no comparison. What is a sitting governor when they are abusing Alex Otti? Alex Otti they are abusing is Ikpeazu on the same level with Alex Otti. They're not on the same level, for Christ's sake. Being a governor, an imposed governor, doesn't mean you're superhuman.
Okay. Ferdinand, you're becoming very impassioned. Should we take a moment so you could, relax a little, or we should go on with the conversation?
Let's go ahead, please, my brother.
Okay, so Ferdinand, I'd rather, moving forward, we be careful with how we address the governor of Abia State, because, of course, you understand.
Nobody has listened to what I just said. I have not, and it's not in my culture to do so. It's not in my character to do so. Ask respected aides and spokespersons of the governor; they will tell you that we do not. You just read out the things they said, and which are abusive and insulting to Alex Otti. Alex Otti has a name to protect. He has character. He has pedigree. So they should also accord the respect he deserves to him. Very important.
I'm just wondering, ever since he left the banking sector, what has he been about? Did Alex Otti set up any businesses? I know he's been consistent with trying to contest for the elections 2015, 2019. I mean, he's been doing that, done that. But then, is there any other business? Is there any other side engagements that he's been up to apart from politics?
Okay, Alex Otti does not even consider himself a politician in the first place.
Okay,
but he believes he has written an article captioned "I don't do politics." So, and he said that the reason for his involvement is because if you fail to get involved, charlatans will rule you and decide how your affairs, your life, and everything will be. And that was the reason I've been issue why he got involved. So Alex Otti is an investment banker. He's an economist. He's a consultant. He's into real estate. He's into hospitality. He's into oil and gas. He's into finance. So Alex Otti has chance of businesses, that he has, and a lot of Abians are employed in those businesses.
Sometimes,
and of course,
these businesses are not in public domain. Just as the case of the former Guba.
You can go and Google now. These things are go and Google about Alex Otti and the things he does, and you see all these things. And then would Alex Otti come on radio and start advertising his businesses now when there is no need for that? You understand? When he was a bank CEO, we have always made reference to this. From First Bank, in fact, as an executive director, that he started the branches of First Bank in strategic areas, places where other banks do not have presence. I also say that while in Diamond Bank, he repeated the same thing. And I keep making reference that the only branch of a bank in rural part of Ungwaran, the one that is at Owerenta, was started there by him as an MD CEO of Diamond Bank. There's no other bank that has a branch there.
Well, you and I know
if you think it's all about profit and all the rest of them, how come other banks didn't see that place as very lucrative? But he did it as a way, to ameliorate the sufferings of those people who move all the way from there to either Owerri or to Aba to come and do their transactions. And he employed a lot of Abians. Go and verify. When Alex Otti was the MD CEO of Diamond Bank, except First Bank, no other bank in Nigeria had more branches than Diamond Bank. Nobody, no other bank. In fact, it was because of his excellent performance as MD and CEO of Diamond Bank that all the bank CEOs came together and elected him as the chairman of bank CEOs. So he's a man that, as a P2B will tell you that Alex Otti is an astute manager. On many occasions, when they have lied against P2B that he didn't give any money in Anambra, P2B would always say, go and ask Alex Otti. You understand? You say, go and ask Alex Otti. Yes. So we are talking about people on the same level. You saw Alex Otti chairing one of the committees in the strategic committee when Soludo was about to be inaugurated. So these are people who know him, his words.
Ferdinand, if I must insist and reiterate the question, will you be able to mention names of businesses or one business that Alex Otti has right now?
I said Alex Otti is in real estate business. That's real estate. I mentioned it. I said he is into hospitality.
I was hoping you give me the name of an organization, because I do have Google in front of me now, and I'm struggling to find it. But either way,
go Morningside Suites, Morningside.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's top.
Well, that's you see, I know the
Morningside Capital Partners Limited. Morningside Capital Partners Limited. I had wanted you to, mention. I didn't want to be the one to, seem like I was instigating you to, put it out there. But then it's on his LinkedIn profile that he's the Chief Executive Officer of Morningside Capital Partners Limited. So I had wanted you to put that yourself. Now let's move back to politics a little bit. You have mentioned P2B over and over and over again, and it just seems like there's some simmer of hope that this might just be the year for Alex Otti, owing to the fact that there's an OB candidature and both of them are in the same in the same party. Now, what drama led to his exit from APC, and how did he emerge Labour Party Guba candidate? Because I'm sure Labour Party wasn't in the picture for him.
Okay. Well, he left APC very peaceful when it was discovered that APC was not disposed to conducting primaries, was not disposed to allowing all those that had interest to partake in a primary election. He quietly left without going into litigation or confrontations or with anyone, and decided to move to Labour Party. We sat down and discussed it, and we say, going by his position, Alex Otti's position, consistent advocacy for workers, for civil servants, for pensioners, that it would make sense that we use Labour Party, which somehow, has soft spots for laborers, for civil servants, for workers. That was how we moved to Labour Party. In fact, we moved to Labour Party about a week before our presidential candidate, Mr. P2B, joined. In fact, he personally called Dr. Alex Otti and said, I learned you have joined Labour Party. Please remain there. I am coming. That was how he said it. Please remain there. I am coming. And because they are old-time friends, they work together, they relate together. They have very strong, fantastic relationship. So it was a beautiful development for all of us. In any way, P2B's emergence, or the Biden movement revolution, is a thing of joy. We are happy about it. If it wasn't going to happen, of course, we would have pursued our ambition. If Obi wasn't running, we would have pursued our ambition in Labour Party. Like I said, we joined before him. But he is our man.
What would you...
Okay, so we are excited about it. You were here in 2015. I don't know. Yeah, I think you were here in 2015 when Alex Otti ran for government.
I've been here for donkey years.
No, I'm just trying to make reference to that time. You saw what Alex Otti did. He's going to repeat the same thing he did that time.
Okay.
It's going to be a revolution here. We are going to mobilize Abians. We've started the process the way we did before. So Alex Otti has the name. He's a brand. He has the capacity. He has the pedigree. That's the most important thing.
Ferdinand.
So the presence of our presidential candidate is a blessing. It's a huge blessing. It's an additional blessing.
You've emphasized that, but because of wanted time, I want to just put out all of the things that I want to ask you within the time frame that we have. So, how would you describe your principles' ideology? I mean, let me juxtapose it back, juxtapose it with his movement across political parties. At some point, the PDP, the APC, upon PDP, ABGA, APC, and now Labour Party. Some persons are of the opinion or the school of thought that he doesn't align with some of this, with the visions of this political party, and as such, he doesn't seem to have his own political ideology, because different parties stand for different ideology. What's your principles political ideology? Is it just that any platform that affords me the opportunity to achieve my ambition of becoming the governor, I will just ride with it?
If political parties in Nigeria had strong ideologies, all the people there would have in PDP would have rallied around Mr. P2B. That is the truth. Everybody would have mobilized to say this is the best man for the job. Because when you look at the people who are running or who ran for the ticket, you will see that P2B was the best man. In any way, they would have also created a platform for a free and fair and credible primary election. But P2B saw that they weren't going to do that, and he took a walk. Would you say that P2B is inconsistent or he's selfish because he moved over to Labour Party when he knows that what he's pursuing, the project he's pursuing, is pro-people, unlike most of the candidates. Remember, in any way, I just want to use Peter Obi here as a reference point because of the type of person he is, because of the name, the reputation he has, which everybody loves. He's revered. Peter Obi was a member of PDP in 2003. And when what happened in PDP happened, he left PDP for ABGA. He contested the election in ABGA and won, and he was rigged out. He went to court and reclaimed his mandate. After his tenure, he left for PDP again. And now he has left PDP for Labour Party. So would you now say that Peter Obi is not consistent or what? The truth is that political platform. I'm coming. Please, I'm responding to your question.
I never said your principle was not consistent.
No, I'm coming now. I'm just asking a rhetorical question. Please, okay. I'm not accusing you of anything. You understand? So you, Alex Otti, took the decision because the political parties do not give to what they profess. That is the truth. For example, we were in ABGA. I don't want to condemn ABGA here. We have immense respect for ABGA. But we all knew what transpired in ABGA, which is what crumbled ABGA in Anambra. If not for the emergence of Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo as candidate, ABGA would have lost Anambra woefully. That's the truth. In Imo State, as we speak today, nobody talks about ABGA because ABGA was accused of engaging in or indulging in Ponzi scheme. I do not want to condemn them, but I'm talking about what transpired. In fact, in a state like Imo, the likes of ABC Transport, Awuzie, Stanley Awuzie, Abuje, Okeze, and there are no more than the rest of them. They did the procession in Imo, where they said they have buried ABGA. We are shouting, Okokroko, now Bulawaneya. Today, that has affected ABGA because people were defrauded. So would you blame a candidate that was defrauded for leaving a political party when the party is not ready to respect and uphold its principles and ideologies? So it has nothing to do with that. The most important thing about Alex Otti is his consistency defending the people, his consistency in pursuing a just cause for the people. That's the most important thing. Otti had, after the 2015 election, realigned with PDP or collected money and abandoned his case in court or decided to be dining with PDP. Thank you. That is when everybody that wants to criticize Alex Otti will have the moral grounds to do so. But because the man rebuffed them, when he was approached with billions, he called their bluff and said he didn't want to see anybody cross his gate. They sent traditional rulers. He turned him back. He said, it's out of respect that I'm even speaking to you people. I do not want anybody to near my house. I do not want anybody from anything from anyone. So that makes you a man. Now that is why Alex Otti remained, because if he had betrayed the people, I can tell you by now he would have gone into extinction. Nobody would be talking about him today. But because he stayed with the people, continued to advocate for the people, continued to engage to ensure that the interests and the well-being of the people, are protected. And that is why he remains a very strong force today. And by the special grace of God, come 2023, the journey that was started in 2015 will come to a successful accomplishment for the good of Ndabia.
Okay, so if you had to say, on a lighter note, who stands a better chance at clinching the governorship seat in Abia State, would you say it's your principal? Or who stands the best chance, rather?
Yes, of course.
You say,
and you know the reasons.
And if for any reason I asked you to, put in order, a numerical order, how the contestants will line up behind him, who would you say will be his closest rival?
Well, I'm not in a position to say that, but I know that Abians are massively going to vote for him, and I have told you the reasons. That they will look at his pedigree, they will look at his antecedents, his accomplishments, his consistency, his character, his pro-people actions and policies. And above all, they will see that he is the only candidate that is standing independently. So that is to say, the only godfather he has are the masses. They are his own godfather. All the other candidates are coming with one godfather or the other. That's the difference. So you need a governor whose utmost agenda, interest will be the well-being and welfare of the people. And it's not saying, it's not saying you bury individuals or no, or stakeholders, no, but he's saying that if you want to compensate these people, if you want to empower them, not by bringing out money that will be used to pay pensioners and workers and all the rest of them to dash to people, that you will build the institutions, you give out projects to people, and such projects will be effectively executed. And those who do such contracts, of course, will make money for themselves. But the idea of sharing money, state funds, and now after sharing it to a few individuals, you won't be able to carry out your responsibilities, your programs and projects as a governor, that he cannot work under his government. So if Nigerians will look at all the candidates, they know that Alex Otti is the only person that is standing on his 2 feet, is the only person that is coming out without a baggage, that is one that everybody knows has proven that he wants to protect the interests of the people, genuinely. Because, like I said, you can't be keeping quiet, and government is running the state aground. Now you jump out, you want to become governor. What have you said when workers protested and asked to be paid? What have you said when pensioners were denied the entitlement?
So
what have you said?
You feel the fact that
if the state is in a state of bankruptcy, would you be coming to preside over a state that is bankrupt? Because that is the case. These are the things you need to think about.
Who are you referring to particularly? Because every other candidate, especially those ones who I have spoken to personally, have said one or two things they've done, within their personal capacity through, NGOs and collective efforts, communal efforts to ameliorate sufferings of Abians and reach out to people in their community, even across the state. There's a certain candidate who's got the medical outreach, which is covering, or going around the state. So would you say someone just jumps out and says he wants to be a governor when he's not been doing anything? I don't think some of the Guba aspirants will agree with you on that.
What we are saying here is that if you want to govern a state, you should be concerned on how the affairs of the state is conducted.
So you feel the way your principal is going about it and talking about issues.
I want you to get me very clearly. If, for example, Mr. Barra, you take a loan of $200 million and you squander it, you know the burden you would have created for the incoming government. So we are saying that those who have lent their voice, who have fought to ensure that the state was not destroyed, it doesn't matter whether he is going to become the governor or not. But the most important thing, you must fight to uphold your state.
You sound like you're soliciting votes, on air now because of his antecedents as a person who speaks up.
The campaigns have taken off now. What is wrong if I solicit vote for him?
It seems like a sympathy vote. That's what you're calling for. Would you disagree?
People will vote for you and support you on the strength of who you are, what you have done. If you have shown passion, if you have shown a consistency in defending the people, if you have stood by the people will say, this is a time for payback. It's time for payback. This man that has stood by us and for us should be compensated, should be allowed to preside over our affairs and run the government the way it should be run. That's what we are saying.
There's a question on our social media platform that I would want to push across to you now. Someone is asking, do you think is humane? Do you think your principle? Let me read it verbatim. Do you think the reasons your principal gave are humane enough for him to have taken action that may affect the running of government?
In the first place, Alex Otti's action did not affect the running of government. If anything, the action saved the state from further financial burden that it would have plunged itself into. It would have been plunged into. You see, some of these people that are asking this question either are being asked to ask such questions by the PDP or are less informed about how these things work. When you are talking about loan, it's not free money. This is not grant. This is not free money that somebody is dashing you. This is loan that you are expected to pay back. And it usually comes with a tenor. And deduction will commence. And when they begin to deduct, the money has been squandered and has not been invested, it is you and I. That is when they will start placing all kinds of rubbish. You understand? All rubbish on your houses. Pay property rent, infrastructure levy, business premises permit, operational permit, business license permit, all kinds of rubbish, double taxations they are indulging in. So you see, if you move around, you see how they have increased astronomically what people pay in Aba, in Omai, and everywhere. So when they take this loan, this is how they are going to look for a way to repay it. And we are trying to, Alex Otti, try to help Abia. In any way, Abia should be applauding Alex Otti for taking that action. That was not the only loan they went for. So they didn't tell you they've never taken any loans. We're asking you, what have you done with the ones you have taken?
I'll take that as your final words on the program, Ferdinand Ikoma. We are practically out of time. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today to clear up the issues as regards the statement made by your principal. We appreciate you even connecting with us on short notice. Hopefully, we'll get back to you again on some developing stories.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Well, we could take the next few minutes left on the clock to take your calls. 0916 0333 965 0916 0333 965, or you call 0916 965 0916 965. We'll just take 1 minute or less for each caller coming through on the program. Hello.
We are highly blessed this morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
This is Tonkiti guy for you.
All right.
You for me, one of President overall. This is if you look at it, I'm seeing to find out the anticipate and so far accomplishment of Alex Otti in Abia State. And if you look at it, these are the desperate doors. And that's why we don't want to sympathize with them. But his spokesman is saying that he's supposed to be compensated. He is supposed to be compensated. I mean, he's peaceful. How are we going to compensate him? So you were asking me a question. Some others now, some aspirants now, what they have at the ground now is specifying about them. Some of them are going with the medical outreach. Some of them are giving small token of money to pensioners. Some are doing one to the other. He has been trying. I said that he has been prognosing in terms of government, knowing about the affairs of government, telling others this and that. But that's not what we want. Somebody cannot be giving
Don Casey, not to sound like I'm speaking on behalf of Alex Otti, but Alex Otti does have a foundation, Alex Otti Foundation, which also has focused on education for Abians alone. You know, so not to hold brief, but that is in public domain, and I'd rather you not just go down to say what has he done as well. I'm not holding brief for any of the aspirants, but things that are in public domain that are verifiable, we need to put it out there.
Okay. But someone was saying something that with the things that I have said that they are supposed to compensate him, but that means you should think of knowing that others are not talking about to compensate anyone. Maybe they have been in the rest in 2015.
Yeah.
But what we are talking about now, someone who has been going close to people, not even after election, you will not longer be, you can't find him. He will not be here talking about much of our government, talking about much of people. But when it comes up for election, he will not come back again and try to, these people try to get
I get what you're saying.
Going to grassroots, talking to people.
I have to let you go, Don Casey. We are practically out of time. And it's imperative that, I take one more call because not just one person will hear on the program today. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, TC Bara.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Jonathan, calling you from Umuahia here.
Glad to have you on the program.
Yes, if actually that Dr. Alex Otti, the governorship candidate of Labour Party for 2023 election, stopped a loan applied for by the state government, then it behoves on the state government to make a press release. If Dr. Alex Otti is alleging that the previous loans which the state government obtained, they did not account for it or it was not spent judiciously, then it behoves on the state government to come up on air to tell Adians, to disprove what Dr. Alex Otti is saying than to keep mute over the whole allegation.
I did take sides to this. I brought an audio of the former Commissioner for Information, the current Commissioner for Trade and Investment. I took a note, a press release from an aide of the governor. I put that side by side. And of course, Ferdinand, except you didn't hear, because that's what we started off the program with.
Okay. Well, if government has actually reacted, just as you say, you play the audio. Well, I think just like Ferdinand Ekoma said, so Dr. Alex Oti has a right to, look into the finances of the state if actually the previous one they collected was spent judicially or was spent judiciously or not. Then what I'm saying now in effect that the state government should be able to ensure that all loans they have collected are used judiciously to better the welfare of Abians, especially the pensioners and the workers.
All right.
Because right now the pensioners have been on demonstration from paid.
You've spoken for 2 minutes and our time is up. I have to let you go. Thank you very much. It's 11 o'clock on the dot, and we are practically out of time. I'd hoped that we could have taken more calls if our callers had just stuck to the 1 minute plan we started off the program with. But then the conversations continue on Standpoint. It's unending because once we communicate and keep talking, we'll start getting on the path to change situations and scenarios. Today we did have a media aid of Alex Oti, a governor candidate in the Abia State elections. Ferdinand Ekoma shed some light on what his principal had said as to why he stopped the loan from the AFDB, which the Abia State government had applied for. Many thanks to my producer, Bright Agoyan Baba, and of course the executive producer, John Nkamian. My name is Tempo Bara. Standpoint returns next week, Monday at 10 a.m. Have a great weekend.
It is true